Oh, it was excellent. What it meant for us was, getting back to business.
But speaking of 2022 AirVenture, how about that 1 week wonder?
Oh boy.
So 2021 marked the return of Oshkosh AirVenture after a pretty tough year. What did that return mean for you guys, and how would you gauge the crowds and the response of everybody?
Oh, it was excellent. What it meant for us was, getting back to business. It was really strange having the third week of July off. I did take vacation as a novelty last year, but it was weird. It didn't feel right. And we missed everybody. And, I say that because it's our home show, it's our home
Mhm,
field.
mhm.
So not having homecoming fly in the day before the show like we always do, and all of that, we missed it. We missed it. We missed everyone. So being back was fabulous. The show was, in my opinion, huge. I mean, even though we didn't have a lot of international visitors,
Mhm.
there's just so much pent up energy in the marketplace, and that really showed. And people came out in force, both on foot or in cars or in airplanes,
Mhm.
and it was just a really great show. So really successful show for us from just a booth traffic and a sales standpoint,
Mhm.
and just successful for EAA in terms and just success for the event in general, which was
Mhm.
really important to see.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
EAA is as everyone should know, is a nonprofit organization, and the
Mhm.
majority of the operating capital for the entire budget year comes out of AirVenture.
Oh, wow.
So skipping a year is really painful, and
Wow.
EAA does a lot of things around the rest of the year, and that depends on that income. And so it was really important that they had the show, and really important that it was successful, which yeah, it definitely
Mm.
was.
Yeah, I didn't get to make it this year. I had to choose between going to Alaska and going there, limited vacation time and budget. So I went up north. But I'm hoping to make it next year. We'll see how everything plays out, and hopefully bring 541 too.
Yeah, it'd be great. Yeah, yeah. If for folks who have never been to the show before, I mean, you just can't even imagine. I remember when I was going to college in Florida, and I went to Sun and Fun for the first time, and I met up with some of my EA chapter mates from back up in New York, and
Hmm.
I was like, "Wow, this is huge! How much bigger could Oshkosh possibly be?" And you have no idea. And I didn't. I mean, it is just mind blowing, the size of the event. You truly need multiple days, and even at that, even if you're there every day, you still can't possibly see it all. And yeah, it's Mecca, and that's why our business is based here.
Mhm,
And that, and of course all the really important things that EA does
mhm,
the rest
mhm.
of the year.
But speaking of 2022 AirVenture, how about that 1 week wonder?
Oh boy. Excited and a little more than a little scared. Charlie Becker says that the guys at Bands are still shell shocked from the year that they did the RV12. We're spending a lot of time and effort to organize the build for 2022, and get everything laid out and well organized so that it goes as smoothly as possible. One advantage, of course, we have is that our warehouse is right here on the
Oh
field.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So if we or a volunteer messes anything up, we'll have at least a full kit in reserve sitting there waiting for somebody to drive over and pick up parts. That's the home field advantage that we have, and we're going to
Yeah.
leverage it to to its fullest extent. I mean, the bottom line is, I don't care how easy to build a kit is, a week is not much time at all. I mean, that's an impossible task for in reality
Mhm.
for any home builder. Even glass stars need 2 weeks at least to
Oh
taxi.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
How about
and
it?
so, it's just such a massive effort on the part of us as a company, on EAA and the volunteer corps, and just all the organization that has to go into it on the front end. And we're really excited about it. We think it's going to be a great opportunity for the kit to shine. Don't be surprised if you see incremental improvements in the kit between now and then.
That's good. That's great.
So that we're technically not cheating when we show up with something that's pre-drilled that isn't normally or something. And those things will make it to, obviously make it to all kit builders, once we come up with those things. And so we're working down the triage list of, okay, what's the next round of kit improvements going to be, and what's going to be really important for the success of the One Week Wonders too.
Are you able to work on it 24 hours a day, or is there a set time frame? I haven't closely followed it.
We have access to it 24 hours.
Wow. Not it for night shift.
From what I've heard from Charlie, the Zen Air guys didn't. They shut down at a pretty reliable, 5 or 6 o'clock each night, and got it done. I think the Vans guys had to burn the midnight oil at least a few days during the week.
I bet.
So we'll see, how that goes. We'll be prepared to burn the midnight oil, and EAA is going to put up our more experienced volunteers in a house that they have that's right adjacent to grounds. I don't live in Oshkosh. I actually live 20 miles up the road in Appleton. So I would probably rent a camper that I'll have here at the hangar for the week, and that sort of thing. And we'll probably have other staff sleeping in the hangar.
You touched on it a little bit, but who can participate in that? Is it anybody who goes to the show can pull a few rivets, or? Yeah,
there's participation on many levels. Whether it be, just somebody off the street who's never seen or touched an airplane in real life before, they can pop a rivet, or people with some experience. And we actually have a sign-up list going on Smartsheet that EAA has created that we'll be distributing for people to sign up to volunteer, for the people that want to volunteer significant time, and getting them scheduled down to the day and shift that they're available. And then from there, we'll kind of pick out our real core group of MVPs in terms of who has the most building experience and who's the easiest to work with, and really try to get as many of the builders out there in the Sonex community involved in the build as much as possible, more than, for instance, our full-time shop staff. We're going to make sure that the decks are cleared for them, and we won't be building anything here at the factory that week, so they can be over there full time. But EAA and Charlie's telling us, well, yes, but we want volunteers to do this more than your full time people. So we'll be working to make that happen, and our full time people can just kind of be supervising and advising and quality checking. More than anything.
All right. So if you heard that and you think you're up to the challenge, go ahead and track down that sign up link, and we'll see you in 2022.
Yeah. We're looking forward to it. Like I said, a little scary. It's a big task.
Yeah.
But we're really looking forward to it. And, it's just such a big thing for a kit manufacturer to be the 1 week wonder. And it's time. It's time for us to, have that moment in the spotlight. And, we're excited. I'm trying to work with Charlie. Like, we need someone who can narrate the whole thing. It needs to be almost like an Iron Chef. We got the cameras roving everywhere and interviewing people in other buildings. Oh, look, I see that Chris has gotten out the blender. What's he up to?
Here to share your thoughts on this? No, go away.
Yeah, we definitely have some fun with it. So we're very much looking forward to that.
So why I think it was a Waiex and not a 1X?
It really came down to what airplane EAA wanted at the end of the day. We're starting to accumulate a bit of a fleet here now between One Week Wonder airplanes and SLSA RB-12s that they use for their Air Academy, Flight Academy, and things like that. So they need an airplane that's going to be useful, as well as hopefully fun to fly. So we wanted to definitely make it a two-place airplane. The Waiex over the Sonex, just because the Waiex is what we're selling the most of. We've accomplished our mission of refuting the idea that V-tails don't fly well. and especially Y tails, which is what we have instead of V tails. And I think we're finally beating back the dogma about bonanzas and everything.
Yeah. Oh, they fly great. I have a little bit of time in a YX. I enjoyed it. You know, that was my first Sonex smile. So
yeah, absolutely. And you know, the big trick is keeping your feet on the pedals, even just resting on the pedals. And that's what's going to avoid any like gust coming along and giving you some touch roll. If you have your feet on the floor, then you'll still get that even with the wide tail a little bit. But just keeping
you know, honestly, it's sad we even have to say that. Just say
yeah, well, Sonics. I mean, we always say, you know, with the Sonics, you know, if the ball's not in the center, it's because your feet aren't on the floor. Because differential ailerons and just the way that the airplane is designed, it's even the tail dragger requires a minimum amount of rudder, which is a great attribute to the airplane. So, you know, there's some conflicting messaging going on there. But yeah, I mean, keep your feet resting on the pedals with the wide tails, and you need a rear view mirror to tell which airplane you're flying, whether it be a conventional tail or tail.
Yeah, I can't tell. I mean, I haven't put either in a real stiff crosswind or anything yet, but you know, it just regular everyday flying, I can't tell. So
yeah. I mean, airplanes have, you know, a lot of people ask, you know, we don't publish crosswind components, and if I had to give you a number off, you know, right out of my head, I wouldn't be able to tell you what we, you know, I don't remember what we tested to. The bottom line is the airplanes can handle more than most pilots are comfortable with. And that's really what it comes down to is, you know, the pilot's comfort level. I mean, we've got pictures from Phil Simon years and years ago, did a trip over 3 summers to touchdown in all lower 48 states. A lot of other people have done it after him, Kip Lorre and others. But we've got pictures from him from, I don't remember if it was North Dakota or South Dakota, but he was coming in at like a 45-degree crab, so extreme crosswind. And granted, he had a tail wheel, but he would have been fine with, or he had a nose wheel, but he would have been fine with a tail wheel. I think he landed partially diagonal on the runway, and it handled it all way out of his comfort level. You know, and the airplane handled it extremely well.
Yeah, I still remember my primary instructor shouting, or you know, asking about crosswind components, and then saying, "Well, what do you think you're better than a test pilot?"
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, those published crosswind components are really the limit of the airplane, and what most pilots don't realize is that the personal limits are more than likely going to be a lot lower.
Absolutely. Yeah.